Today's video is about the 3 rhetorical appeals according to Aristotle. As the screen would imply, those 3 appeals are ethos, pathos, and logos. So, as we've discussed in class, rhetoric is just the art of persuasion in speaking or writing. So a rhetorical appeal is just the specific way a writer or speaker attempts to convince or persuade an audience that their argument or belief is correct and should be followed or even acted on. Ethos gives us the root word for ethics, and that's exactly what the appeal is all about. It's a means of convincing your audience that you have credibility and authority to speak because of your strong moral character or because of your education and background and intellect. Now, it doesn't always have to be about your specific accomplishments, because ethos includes any time you refer to or quote higher powers and authorities in support of your argument. Now, these authorities could be anywhere from celebrities to historical figures. They could be religious texts. They could be widely renowned educators, philosophers, humanitarians, anyone that your intended audience respects or esteems enough to take advice from. Now, pathos is an appeal to the audience's emotions. I remember it because it's the root of both the words sympathy and pathetic. While I certainly do not think that all emotions are inherently pathetic, the overuse of this appeal can lead to a more pathetic influence than a sympathetic one. You don't want your audience to be so disgusted by your emotional outbursts that they cannot take you seriously, that they disrespect you and discredit your argument and belief. Now, pathos is usually done by using stories as their appeal, and they also use personal anecdotes so the audience feels for and suffers with the speaker. Pathos uses emotional language and sensory details, so it's usually the easiest appeal to identify, and it's used a lot in literature. Now, I don't want you to think that pathos is only about the negative emotions, because it can definitely include positive emotions as well that the speaker or writer is trying to get their reader or writer or listener to experience as well, so then they then identify with that exact same argument and belief. Logos is, as the name would imply, all about logic and reason. Aristotle was a Stoic, and as a Stoic, you're a big fan of both logic and reason, so this appeal was definitely his favorite. Logos focuses on the use of evidence to support a claim. So anytime a speaker uses one of the 2 types of logic, which is induction and deduction, or anytime a speaker uses facts, statistics, and other sources as intellectual arguments, that speaker is using the appeal of logos. Again, in review, Aristotle's 3 forms of rhetoric are ethos, pathos, and logos. Ethos refers to credibility. It's about establishing trustworthiness and reputation in tone and style and references. Pathos is about emotional impact or imaginative impact. It's about telling stories. Logos is about reasoning for your argumentation. It's about using logic, facts, figures, case studies, and other sources that you can point to as credible, factual, and commonsensical. This is a list of good tips to help you identify the 3 different types of rhetoric, or to help you actually apply them and use them in your own writing or in your own speaking. In logos, it's all about your content being based on arguments, benefits, facts, figures, pros, cons, data, numbers, statistics, and scientific research. Ethos is all about personal anecdotes that explain why you as a speaker are credible and should be heard and listened to. It's about client testimonials and success stories, track records. It's about a delivery that focuses on eye contact, strong, confident body language, vocal variety, and poise. Gravitas is also something you'll see associated with ethos as well. Pathos is again about pathetic or sympathetic emotions. It's about stories, positive and negative feelings like frustration, anger, love, or even respect. It's about delivering such content in a way that is coherent and seems genuine. So if you're delivering a message that's about something very, very sad, you probably wouldn't be grinning the entire time. Or if you're delivering a message about something that's incredibly exciting and happy and ecstatic, you wouldn't have a just bland, neutral, monotonous tone or a sad face. It wouldn't make sense, and it would defeat your appeal. So to prove that you've watched this video, for your homework, I would like you to write in your journal about which appeal you've seen writers use most often in the novels we've been reading this year. Also, once you identify that appeal, explain why you think that writer or writers depends on that appeal more than the other ones. Is it because it's just easier to write or use? Is it because the writer believes that the audience will have more of a reaction and take more of an active step in response to that appeal versus the other ones? Just write what your gut feeling would say, or what your logical feeling would say, or what your experience tells you about why writers use one of the rhetorical appeals more than others, at least in the books that we've read. Just explain why you believe that, and that's it. Thank you for watching the video, you guys.